Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
You remember the 1985 television commercial for Miller Lite with Yakov Smirnoff?
When I came to America from Russia, I discovered many wonderful things, like blue jeans, unopened mail, and light beer from Miller. In America, there is plenty of light beer, and you can always find a party. In Russia, party always finds you.
Yakov was born in Odesa, Ukraine. He defected to the U.S.A. in 1977. Yakov had a lot of success in the United States, which led to his line, "What a Country." Besides stand-up comedy, he had roles in Moscow on the Hudson, in which he helped Robin Williams with a Russian dialogue.
I see nice Italian girl who is helping me become more American. One order McFries, 2 chocolate milkshakes. Come back soon.
He was also in films Money Pit and Brewster's Millions. He appeared on TV's Night Court and as a guest on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show. Smirnoff was friends with President Ronald Reagan and wrote some of his speech material. Here's an example.
The story was an American and a Russian arguing about their two countries, and the American said, "Look, in my country, I can walk into the Oval Office, I can pound the president's desk and say, 'Mr. President, I don't like the way you're running our country.'" And the Russian said, "I can do that." The American said, "You can?" He says, "Yes. I can go into the Kremlin to the General Secretary's office, pound his desk and say, 'Mr. General Secretary, I don't like the way President Reagan's running his country.'"
Yakov Smirnoff is on the air with us right now. He is a Russian comedian. First of all, I have to ask you, is that your real name, Yakov?
Yes, it's my real name. Yakov is my first name, and Smirnoff is my middle name, so I took it as my last name because Americans like Smirnoff.
I was going to say, I think they named a vodka after you.
Yeah, it's a very common name in Russia. It's like Smith.
How did you get the job as a stand-up comic? I mean, first of all, how did you get out of Russia?
Well, bad jokes. They'll get you out of anywhere. I was stand-up comic in Russia since I was 15 years old, and then when I got out of Russia and came to America, that's when I wanted to do eventually, is to be a stand-up comedian. Now, it took me a long time to get out. You apply for a visa and they give you a master charge, takes a little time.
It's kind of a tough situation right now. In fact, someone said to me, "You're going to talk to a Russian after what happened with that Korean incident." I said, "Look, it's not his fault what happened." But isn't that the way it goes, though? Something will happen like that in some country.
I have an alibi.
You have an alibi?
Yeah, I have people who saw me here. So I'm okay. No, you know what was interesting? When it actually happened with an airplane, I was first night when I went on stage. After that, I was real nervous because I didn't know which way the audience was going to turn. And it happened to be that they turned towards me because it kind of increased the interest of theirs. What happened? Why? Why did they do it, And the audience was very responsive, and I got even bigger laughs than I had before.
How do you answer that when someone asks why you think Russia did
Well, now it's kind of a little bit getting, the subject is getting away from the news, so people are not, I feel Andropov shut down the plane because he wanted to impress Jodie Foster. That's my feeling, but otherwise, they're still saying that it was a spy plane, and because they saw a lot of Oriental people with cameras windows, so that's how they explain those things,
Do they tell jokes in Russia? I mean, do people stand around the corner and exchange jokes?
On the corner, but, in your home and to your friends, yes, a lot of underground humor. Humor about 6 feet underground.
How about the Russian women?
Oh, gosh.
I was just wondering about Russian perfume. Do the women have any perfume?
Yeah, evening in prison.
Evening in prison.
Best
Okay.
stuff there, yeah.
Any reaction from Russia now on your cutting humor of their country?
I also project a nice image. You know, that's something that they realize probably also, that I project a nice Russian image. That Americans look at and say, oh, he's cute. You know, if they all would be like that, that would be better, you know.
Yeah. Are you wearing your Russian designer jeans today?
Calvin Kremlin? No, I thank God I don't have to, but when I do my act, I wear my Russian clothes.
If they could talk, right?
If they could talk, they'd be shot.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yakov.
My pleasure. Thank you for letting me talk to you.
What surprises me, American people don't know we have comedy in Russia. We have comedians. They're there. They're dead.
W-O-K-Y, Bob Berry, 1992.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.